All right, so I'm making this video to discuss the political, economic, social, and technological climate in Mexico right now. So, a PEST analysis, just to try to determine if Mexico would be a good country to invest in, if you're maybe a business owner or company thinking about, investing or outsourcing towards Mexico. So we'll start with the political analysis. As the government has a great deal of control over the way businesses are run. This can be a good thing and a bad thing, kind of depending on what the government is motivated by. You want the government to have, some control over regulating business, but you don't want them to have too much control because then they can, corruption can affect the business. So one of the big problems in Mexico has been corruption in the government. I'm not saying that the whole entire political climate is corrupt, but, there has been a lot of problems with, government affecting different, political things in the country, and affecting the economy and controlling it. So recently in 2018, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador was elected president, and that's gone a long way in helping some of the corruption, stop or be controlled. So they started, or his party is the National Regeneration Movement. It's a left-wing party, and it's done a lot in kind of bringing everybody together in terms of the government and, stopping some of the divide that was in the country. They also overhauled the budget, which was very good because Mexico previously had been operating at a significant deficit year to year. So next we'll talk about the economy. Like I said, it's important for the government to have some control, but not to interfere. Mexico has the second largest economy in Latin America. However, the poverty rate in Mexico as of 2018 was 23%, meaning, 23% of the country makes less than $5.50 American per day. That's may seem pretty bad, but this is way down from 1996 when the poverty rate was 62% of the total 62%. Now, Mexico's economy is pretty much 90% service based. A lot of their economy is based around tourism, and then importing and exporting products as well. You could imagine that their economy has been hit very significantly by COVID, the pandemic. They reported that their economy shrank by 17% in the second quarter of 2020, so right when the pandemic hit. But they do have a lot of products that they export as well, so there is that part of their economy. They export crude and refined petroleum, gold, copper, silver, tropical fruits, and tomatoes. They're actually the leading exporter of tropical fruits and tomatoes in the world, making up 23% of the world's market of tropical fruits and 25% of the global market of tomatoes. So those are huge products. They also export cars and car parts, computers, telephones. Some companies, outsource to Mexico to make those. So there have been some large strides in the economy through things like free trade agreements. In 1994, Mexico joined the North American Free Trade Agreement known as NAFTA. This was really big because it alleviated a lot of concerns that people had in terms of, the Mexican economy and different things were going on, and it removed a lot of tariffs that were put on Mexican exports. Some of these tariffs could reach up to 30% on exported goods, so it made it a lot more palatable or more appetizing to companies to trade with Mexico and export their goods. There was some opposition to NAFTA. Some people believe that, if you eliminated these trade barriers, then some companies might take advantage of Mexico and, for their cheap labor. We've seen that happen in different Asian countries, and people didn't want that same thing to happen in Mexico with people taking advantage. But all in all, it's been good and it's helped the economy. So NAFTA was a good thing. So now we'll look at the social climate in Mexico. Mexico, the people are a mix of the indigenous people, African and Spanish people that came in the colonial period. This mixing of people is known as mestiza, and it creates a unique culture in Mexico, which includes their food, their art, their clothing, their music is all very unique. Currently, Mexico has 130 people and is projected to reach, 130 million people, and is projected to reach 157 million by 2062, which is projected to be their peak. Their population has grown or slowed down significantly. They're actually only growing at less than 1% now. This is because the divorce rate is higher than it has been. It's actually quadrupled in the last 25 years. And the marriage rate has fallen as well. The current median age in Mexico is 28 years old. But by 2055, the median age will be 44, and almost 30% of the population will be over 60 years old. So that means that their, workforce could be declining as people get older, which could pose a problem for their economy. But life expectancy has gone up. It's currently about 75 years old is life expectancy, which is up about 15 years from 1970 when it was right around 60 years old. The population is mostly Roman Catholic, making up about 82%. And they have a very unique cuisine. A lot of foods use avocado, maize, beans, tomatoes, squash, and chili. And they have very unique celebrations like festivals, including Mexican Independence Day, Dia de los Muertos, and Feast of Our Lady Guadalupe. Finally, like the tech in Mexico has been booming as well. Mexico is undergoing a tech revolution right now, mainly because they passed a bill to regulate the tech market. This was big in preventing money laundering and corruption in the tech industry, which was a big problem. Mexico is the 5th biggest Facebook user in the world. And actually, Amazon has taken notice of Mexico recently. They're opening a distribution center in Querétaro, Mexico, and they have Alexa in Mexico now too. So after all of that, we can see that Mexico is a country really on the up and up. If I were to invest in it, I would say that now would be the perfect time because maybe not everybody's caught on yet, but it's definitely a good place to invest.